Stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
City News.
Midday, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News, live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. It's also live on our partner stations across the country. In the Western region, we're on Premier FM 100.5 in Takoradi and Beach 105.5 FM, also in Takoradi. In the Blue region, we're on Premier FM 95.9 in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we're on Orange FM 107.9 in Kumasi. In the Volta region, at Finne Radio 96.7 in Bando, Heritage 107.3 FM in Popoi. In the Northern region, we're on Dust 199.1 FM in Yenbi. In the Upper East region, we're on Word 88.3 FM in Suwari. In the Upper West, Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. And in the Northeast region, we're on Eagle FM 94.1 in Wale. The news is also live across the globe on citynewsroom.com. My name is Inu Safo, and this afternoon I'm here with
Kweku Ediama Ansa.
Coming up, the Black Stars of Ghana face Taeguk Warriors of South Korea later this afternoon in Ghana's second group game in the FIFA World Cup. We'll be live in Qatar to assess their readiness. Meanwhile, a cross-section of Ghanaians are optimistic of Ghana's victory.
All the way. I think he's my star.
Gonna be around 3 minutes.
I want our coach do assignments very well.
Still ahead in the bulletin, leadership of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana say it will remain on strike while they continue to negotiate for better working conditions.
Council determined that we should proceed or continue to be on the strike until such a time that the conditions and all the terms we have can are given.
Also, minority in parliament downplays government's 1D, 1F initiative, saying it has failed to meet its expectations of cutting down on the country's economy.
I mean, can we point to one factory in the last 7 years because of 1D, 1F? We can see that because of this effort by 1D, 1F, we are no longer importing rice, we are no longer importing poultry, or we have even cut it by 25%. There's none. In fact, the imports have increased.
Later, parents and teenagers lament the continuous increase in the prices of sanitary pads.
The seller said that Yaz is 60 and soft care is 12 cedis. I always use always. They said always the big size is 36 and the small size one is 18 cedis. I was surprised.
All that and more on the Citi Prime News.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for choosing us this hour. Let's start with the Black Stars. Now, they will be involved in a must-win game against South Korea in the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup. This is the first competitive meeting between Ghana and the
Well, grateful,
How are you doing?
I'm well and confident.
Confident about
Exactly.
this game? All right.
I know what the Black Stars can do, so I am 100% confident in the team.
I hope they are as confident as you are. So how crucial is this match for Ghana?
Well, anyway, when you look at the standings in Group H of the World Cup at the moment, the Black Stars are bottom after that 3-2 defeat to Portugal. For the Koreans, they have just a point, and Uruguay also has a point, Portugal with 3 points. So looking at the league standing, this game is a very crucial one for the Black Stars. When they win against the South Koreans, it will boost the Black Stars' chances of making it to the next round of the competition. Remember, this is the second game, so to boost their chances and also their morale heading into the final group game against Uruguay. A draw will still keep Ghana's chances afloat. So these are the two key results for Ghana, a win and a draw. But if Ghana loses the game this afternoon, what it does is it will all but seal our campaign at the World Cup heading into the game against Uruguay on December 2, because when Ghana loses today, South Korea will ultimately move to 4 points, and whatever happens between Portugal and Uruguay, these two teams, one of them will pick a point. So if Portugal win, they go 6 points and they will join Korea as the two teams to leave the group. And if Uruguay also win, they move to 4 points, which is still enough points than the Black Stars, who have just one game. That will be their final game against Uruguay, which is just a 3-pointer. So they must prevent a defeat at all costs. That's how crucial this game is. The Black Stars must make sure that they are worst in this encounter to keep their World Cup dreams alive. It's at least a draw. And then if they win, then that's even better.
Fantastic.
But for a defeat, that's a huge result and a crashing one. It will mean that for the second consecutive World Cup, the Black Stars will be bowing out at the group stage. Looking at what happened in 2014 when we exited at the group stages of the Mundial. So that's how huge this game is for Otuado and his boys. They must win or at least get a draw.
Let's hear from the head coach Otuado, who says Ghanaians should expect his team, that is the Black Stars, to be passionate against South Korea in today's World Cup match.
What I can see, we see a passionate team. We will see the same passion which they showed the last game. This I'm 100% sure is a big stage. Everybody's hungry to play. Training good, making it difficult for me to make decisions, and really looks good. And they will show it, I'm sure. I know that there was a lot of criticism, but because we make mistakes, and it's a little bit funny sometimes that, let's say, people are going on Baba Rahman, for example. Oh, he made a mistake, but they forgot about that he also created our 2 goals, So, so people like to pick this and that, but I think in all it was very good, and the boys did well, and hope that we do it again and that it will be rewarded at the end.
You heard Black Stars head coach Otuado. Now, Black Stars defender Daniel Amate has been speaking about the positives picked from their first game as they face South Korea this afternoon.
We have to go with our plan, like our coach told us, so we'll go with the plan. And I think it worked for us, but in the game, things can change. First half was good. And second half, I think we open up, and then we get more chances to go forward. But I think we learn, and we move forward. Yes, our supporters, the supporters good. And I know tomorrow they are going to do the same.
You heard Black Stars defender Daniel Amate. Now, back to you, Evans. How will you describe the pre-match reaction of the Black Stars?
Well, you could sense a coach and his player who were quite confident in their ability. Clearly, from the way Otuado was speaking to the media, you could sense that they have moved on from that defeat to Portugal, and they were looking ahead to that game against South Korea. He spoke about the fact that he knows the Korean team very well. He knows their star man, that's Song Hyung-min, who plays for Tottenham Hotspur, and that they are looking to map up a very good strategy against the Koreans. He also spoke about the fact that, well, for his team, they have done their homework well, looking at what happened to them against Portugal. They've corrected all the loopholes in that team, and they're going to go hard at the Koreans. And so, Ghanaians like yourself sitting here with me, Kofi Eduama, we must expect a passionate Black Stars. And when coach says expect a passionate team, meaning that it's a team that's going to go all out for the win, a team that's going to give their 100% to make sure that at least they're able to beat these Koreans. We've met the Koreans in previous friendly internationals. There are 4 friendly internationals. We've won 3 and lost 1. So this is a team that is beatable. The Black Stars have a superior head-to-head advantage over the Koreans in international friendly games. And so Otuado says, see, we're going to be passionate, we're going to take our chances, we're going to go hard against the South Koreans because we need the results more than them. We just spoke about the fact that looking at the two teams, the Black Stars are under more pressure.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when you're under more pressure, you have to do more. And so expect a team that has the drive to get the 3 points today from the Black Stars. For Daniel Amate, as you heard him, he was quite calm. And he also spoke about the fact that he expects Ghanaians to rally behind the team. Yes, the first game didn't go exactly as we wanted, but they are all confident in the ability of the Black Stars to come hard, to do well today. And when you see a team that is exhibiting so much confidence, it tells you one thing, that the Black Stars is up for business this afternoon.
Right. Let me, before we take the Samed Salis, the midfielder's voice, let's assess the South Korean side, because from what I saw in their opener, I was a bit scared because they're very fast.
Exactly.
And then looking at our boys, they're not so fast. Like, Dede runs a little and then he's tired. Can we match their energy?
Well, in football, every team comes with their own style of play. We know the South Koreans are a typically pacey team. They like to attack with so much pace on the wings. Song Hyung-min can be devastating any day alongside his strikers, the likes of Kwon Chang-woo, who's on the bench today. So it's a team that knows how to run a lot. But once again, in football, you don't do exactly what the opponent wants you to do. You can also change your style. So they want to run, we can also slow the game down, which is quite opposite of what they like to do. And we can hurt them when we play our style. So it's about who will have a better style, who will have a superior team, and most importantly, who will take their chances. Because the two teams will create their chances. But at the end of the day, the team that converts their chances wins the game. So it's important that, yes, they will come at the Black Stars with their pace and all that. And looking at the lineup that we have now, it's a Black Stars team that is looking attacking, meaning that Otuado has moved away from that defensive mindset against Portugal. And tonight, this afternoon, is going with a more attacking team, a team that wants to score, because it's important for us to win this game. And to win a game, you must score.
Yes.
So Otuado is looking at a team that will go out there. Yes, the Koreans will look to hurt us on the wings. It's something we need to expect. But once we're able to defend well, transition very well, we should be able to also hurt them as well. I'm expecting Black Stars to be switching between what I call a mid-block and also a low-block defending. And then when they win the ball, quickly transition and then also hurt the South Koreans.
Right. Speaking of pre-match reactions, here's Black Stars midfielder Samed Salis calling on Ghanaians to keep supporting the team.
Yeah, I know they are waiting for us. They want us to win the game and we also want to win the game. I just tell them they should continue with their support. We love what they are doing, and it makes us happy and push us more to play the game. So on Monday we'll give all out, do our best, and try to win the game for them so that they'll also be happy and proud of us. We have a very good team, a very strong team who defends very well. I think we need to prove more in the attack. We need to have more attackers, I think, in our game to win, because I think at the back with the midfielders we are okay for defending.
Samed Salis is a Black Stars midfielder. Now, Evans, do we know who's starting the match for both teams?
Yes, the lineup is out. And for the Black Stars, the big story is that the Ayew brothers are starting. In the other game, Andre Ayew, the captain, started. Jordan was on the bench. But this afternoon, the two brothers are in the first 11 for the Black Stars. Yes, exactly. Jordan is starting this afternoon. So Coach Otuado makes 3 changes to the team that lost to Portugal. Seydou Ali, the right back, Baba Rahman, the left back, and Alex Juku, the centre back, have all been dropped to the bench, with Gideon Mensah coming in at the left back position. Tariq Lamptey takes over as the right back, and then Jordan Ayew changing the face of play now. So we are not playing a 5-back this afternoon. We are playing more of a 4-back. So we have Lawrence Atizigi maintaining his position in post. There is Tariq Lamptey, Gideon Mensah, Mohamed Salisu, and Daniel Amate as the back 4, with Abdul Samed Salis and Thomas Tepate, the 2 holding midfielders there. There is Andre Ayew, his brother Jordan Ayew, as well as Mohamed Kudus and striker Iñaki Williams for the Black Stars. So that's how the team is shaping up today against the South Koreans. And for our opponents, the South Koreans, they've also made 3 changes. Their coach, Paolo Bento, he has sent Lee Jae-sung, Hwan Yu-jo, and also Na Sang-ho onto the bench. So he's brought in 3 fresh faces in Ko Chang-ho, Jeon Woo-young, and also Cho Gyu-song for his team. So they also line up in a very interesting formation. The Kim Song-yoon maintains his position in goal for the team, and at the right back he has Kim Moon-wang and Kim Jin-soo as the left back for the team. The centre back pairing still remains the same with Kim Min-jae and also Kim Yong-ho as the centre back pairing there. And for the midfielders, there's the likes of Zhang Woo-young, Hwan In-byung there as the two defensive midfielders, with Song Hyung-min will be on the wings, obviously, to cause so much damage on the wings for the Koreans, with Ko Chang-ho and Jeon Woo-young helping him there in midfield, and Cho Gyu-song leading the attack for the South Koreans this afternoon against the Black Stars.
A mouthful, the names. Right. We are hearing that the Ministry of Sports and the Ghana Mission in Qatar have mobilized fans to cheer the team. Can you shed a bit of light on this for us?
Exactly. So this was the plan for the ministry all along, that yes, we had some situations where the sports minister earlier this month admitted that it was going to be difficult for Ghana to fly fans to Qatar with government funds. But aside that, they were looking to link up with the mission in Qatar so that the Ghanaians who are already living there, they can get enough Ghanaians to rally behind the team. And that's exactly what they have done. So it's full support for the Black Stars this afternoon. The Ghanaians living in Qatar have been mobilized, and they'll be filling the Education City Stadium to make sure that they go and rally behind the Black Stars to get that maximum 3 points that Ghanaians are craving for badly.
Let's hear from some local football fans who have been speaking to City News ahead of today's Ghana versus South Korea.
We know Ghana will win, so today we are ready for them.
We are ready for everything.
Today Ghana will collect. Ghana will get in home today.
How many goals?
2-0.
2-0.
Yes.
Ghana will score 2.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay, so honestly, I wish that the Black Stars win today, because watching the match with Portugal last week Thursday, I saw that there was a lot of potential. Like, they were really forceful, and they lost out on a lot of opportunities. I'm hopeful that they would learn from the previous mistakes and build up on their match for today. So I hope that they score them 2. The Black Stars will score the South Koreans. They score them 2-0. Yes.
Which player or which players do you think would score the goals?
Kudus. Yes, Kudus. Yeah, Kudus all the way. I think he's my star player. Yeah.
Gonna be qualified to train.
You have him.
I'm Vim. I'm Vim. Oh, gonna be win.
I want our coach do assignments very well, because we don't like that first match, the way he behaved. Make a tree. First match na yeshia the way I was see an assignment and find way in the quality, but second half the way we see and yempenisa. When once again for Akuma.
I'm Vim. Now, the South Korea fans have also been speaking to City News. Let's listen to them.
Korea win today, and I just want to enjoy it today.
Now, how many goals are you hoping to win by today?
2-1.
2-1?
Yeah, for Korea.
Oh, we're going to get 3 points.
I'm sure. We're going to get 3 points. 100% for sure.
100%?
Yes.
You think your team is better than Ghana?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you mean?
Wow. Who's getting the goals and how many are you scoring today?
Sonny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sonny getting both goals?
Number 7.
And you heard some South Korean fans also expressing optimism. Who will win? Now, tell me, how do you rate our chances, Evans, this afternoon? I'm already starting to get butterflies in my stomach.
Exactly. It's one of those games where, yes, I'm confident in the Black Stars, but I'm also wary of the threat from the Koreans there because of what they can do. And they are not just an ordinary team. When it comes to Asian football, they're one of the superpowers in Asia, and we know their quality. We know what they can do. And I think that it depends on how we are able to neutralize the attack from Son Heung-min, because he's their biggest star man, and we know what he does week in, week out for Tottenham Hotspur. And I think that with the back four that I'm seeing, Tariq Lamptey, Gideon Mensah, Mohamed Salisu, and also Daniel Amate, they must be compact this afternoon to make sure that they don't leave so much spaces for these Koreans there. Our chances against Koreans, I will say, a slim win for the Black Stars. It's going to be a very tight encounter, but I'm expecting the Black Stars to just pip the Koreans at the end of the full time. But it's football. We must not be complacent. We can't even be complacent because we are playing against a top side. And I'm expecting the Black Stars to put in more effort this afternoon. They should run more, because it's important that when you're facing such an opposition, you run more in terms of counter-attack. You don't allow them to do the running. When you try to dispossess them, it's important that we also break fast as well sometimes. And then when you realize that we are getting a little tired, it's very important that we slow the tempo of the game and then play to our pace and our energy. I think that Tuado has given us the indication that he wants to go attacking in this game plan, because Gideon Mensah and Tariq Lamptey are all attacking fullbacks, and I'm expecting them to join the fullbacks, the wingers. And this evening also, I'm expecting the likes of Iñaki Williams. At least he should get a goal for the Black Stars. He's played close to. This will be his fifth game for the Black Stars, I'm sure, because he played against Brazil, Nicaragua, against Switzerland, and also against Portugal. He's yet to find the back of the net, and for us to forgive him for slipping against Portugal in the final moment of that game, he has to get a goal for us.
The keeper hold his feet. I saw a picture of
well, he slipped. So he has to make amends and get onto the score sheet for Ghanaians, and it's very important for us. And I think one player also, in my opinion, who needs to do well for the Black Stars is Jordan Ayew. Many Ghanaians out there have spoken ill of him for a long time. It's high time he puts his critics to shame. He has to get onto the score sheet. He has to get onto the score sheet. I think that he is one of the few players who's had so much chances when it comes to the Black Stars, and still many are not convinced in terms of his ability.
I'm not convinced.
So
about his
it's a huge chance for him to shame you.
Yes, me in particular, because I've seen him play for his team.
Crystal Palace.
He plays very well.
Exactly.
But when it comes to the Black Stars, him and Partey.
I was coming to the Partey point as well. I think for Thomas Partey, there could be something missing in his play, because when he's at Arsenal, he's a beast. He's a beast. The way he's able to connect well with Granit Xhaka and also Odegaard is so lovely. But the Black Stars is more subdued. Against Portugal, I can argue for him that yes, we were playing a very defensive formation, so he was not able to get out of his shell. But with this attacking-minded system, I expect him to go forward more. He should be able to link up with Mohamed Kudus, Andre Ayew, and Iñaki, and he should be one of the creative forces. Kudus will look to create some chances for us, but Partey shouldn't leave that for Kudus alone. He should be able to join, and if Partey goes forward, we know what he can do. Against Nigeria, out of nowhere, he created magic. We need him to create some more magic for us, because this is a time that we expect Partey to come to the party for us. It's important he does so. So I think, it's a good team. Lawrence Atizigi, our goalkeeper, also, against Portugal, there were some jittery moments, but I expect him going forward to be strong. And my star boy, Kudus Day. Mohamed Kudus, yes, what he's doing, he needs to keep it up and release the ball more, find the spaces, hurt the Koreans for us. It's important we win. The players know it, I know it. And I think that they want the win more, so they must do this for Ghanaians. They can't disappoint 30 million Ghanaians who have so much hope in them.
How optimistic are you?
I'll say I am cautiously optimistic. Yes, I know we can beat South Korea, but I have some worries because of sometimes how inconsistent our Black Stars can be. When you have so much belief in the Black Stars, they can let you down. It has happened sometime.
That loss against Portugal, for 2 days, I wasn't myself.
You see?
It was painful.
Exactly. But we can pardon the team for that defeat because of what happened with the Ronaldo penalty. But this time around, I don't think they will be running out of luck. I believe they need to go in. Our chances, I would say we have a 60% chance of winning this game.
60 is not bad.
Yes, 60% chance of winning this game. Because I've seen the Koreans play. They are good. But I think that the Black Stars are slightly better than the Koreans. And if we get a good day, officiating going well in our favor, we should be able to nick a slight win against South Korea. So I am cautiously optimistic, but I know with the Black Stars and what they do at tournaments, they should be able to wrap up. And also at the World Cup, the Black Stars hardly lose in their second matches. In 2006, when we lost our first game against Italy, we came back stronger in our second game against Czech Republic, and we beat them as well. So we've done well in our second matches, and we know there's this saying that the Black Stars are slow starters.
Right.
Yes, it's a common saying. Oh, Ghana, dear, we are slow started. Yes, we started slowly. So now that we've gotten a grip of the tournament, we've settled. The nerves are down now. I expect Ghana to go all out and nick this one over the Koreans.
Right.
Then our revenge mission against Uruguay will be sweeter.
We have to win.
Yes.
Like simple.
So to make that game sweeter, we have to win against Korea. Yeah.
All right. Hold on there. Don't leave just yet. Let's go into the phone lines and speak to Citi Sports' editor, Benjamin Nketia, who is live in Qatar. Benjamin, thanks for joining us. Tell us about the euphoria in Qatar today.
Well, if you can hear me, I can tell you that the Education City Stadium is absolutely buzzing as we speak now. Ghanaian fans are trooping in their numbers. I'm overwhelmed at the number of Ghanaian fans who are actually here for this particular game. Koreans also are coming in their numbers. Generally, there's a lot of spectators trooping into the game. I don't know if you can hear me clearly.
I can hear you.
Okay, yes. So there's generally a lot of spectators trooping in. Expectations are high for this one because a lot of Ghanaians feel as if that game against Portugal was the one we let slip. And so if we are to get our tournament back on track, this is a game that is a must win because we think that while Portugal were, some levels above us, Korea is a team that we are either on the same level with or actually slightly better than. And so they also have two big absentees from this particular game. So this is a game that if Ghana is serious about progressing to the next round of the competition, we should be winning.
Benjamin, what has been the reaction of Ghana's starting 11 if you've had a chance to be with them or speak to them? What have they been saying?
Well, a lot of people felt as if there needed to be a shake-up in this game anyway. Not a lot of people were too happy with the performance of Baba Rahman in the opening encounter, even though he managed an assist. But in the end, his mistakes managed to overrule his good performance or that particular assist. And so Gideon Mensah has come in for Baba Rahman in this game. You also have Jordan Ayew coming in into this particular encounter. Not a lot of people are too enthused by Jordan's appearance in this particular game, just because a lot of people feel as if he doesn't score enough as a striker. But Otoado knows best. He's the head coach of the team. He feels that Jordan can do a job for him in this game. And so Jordan is rightly in this mix. But I mean, everything else will depend on the performance of the pitch and how organized Ghana is in this game. But the starting lineup has generated mixed reactions, if I can put it that way.
Right. Benjamin, tell us, and earlier Evans mentioned that the Ministry of Sports and the Ghana Mission have mobilized some fans to cheer the team. Can you shed more light on this?
Well, basically, I can tell you that when it comes to migrant communities here in Qatar, Ghanaians are definitely top 5 in terms of migrant communities. And so there's been a drive to literally mobilize the Ghanaian community in Qatar to come support the team. And that's exactly what has happened. I mean, a few supporters came from Ghana, but those are not enough to give us the numbers that I'm seeing here. The numbers that I'm seeing here are definitely a lot of people who live in Qatar already. They work in Qatar. There are some people who have lived there for as long as 15 years. And so there's quite a vibrant Ghanaian community here in Qatar, and they are here in their numbers. You know, those who are not in jerseys are in Ghana flags, Ghana hats. So it's very easy to identify who is Ghanaian out here. You hear a certain tree jive or it's saying, you know, that kind of thing. So everybody knows who is Ghanaian out here. And I can tell you that as I speak now, a lot of them basically trooping out here. They're just walking by me in droves heading to the ground. It's at the Education City Stadium. It's a pretty large ground. And so we expect Ghanaians to be in a pretty loud voice out here today.
Let's move to the camp of the South Koreans. What are they saying? Do they feel they have, should I say, the audacity to beat Ghanaians?
Oh, they have a lot of audacity. I can tell you that on record. Look, I've spoken to 3 South Korean journalists, and none of them seem to think that Ghana has a chance in this game. They think that we have names, but they have a better team and they have better chemistry. and they've been with their head coach longer as well. And so a lot of them feel as if in that game against Uruguay, they were simply unlucky, and that against Ghana, they will make amends. And so it's a lot of positivity from the Korean fans. But what I can tell you also is that Son, their star player, is definitely in the mix. Hwan Hee-chang of Wolves will not be in the mix. That's a big miss for them. And so while they don't have a full complement of their team available, they seem to think that teamwork is what will ultimately prevail in a game like this.
Teamwork makes the dream work. How will you rate our chances this afternoon?
Ooh, I said it's a 50-50 game. It's a 50-50 game because there's pressure. It's a big game, and big games always come with a lot of pressure. And so this game will depend on how well we're able to handle the pressure. If we can get our act together, we can stay compact and play an organized game, I have no doubt in my mind that we can beat the Koreans. But again, they also have their strengths. They are very deadly from set pieces. Son, if he gets a set piece from anywhere between 20 to 25 yards, that is a 50% chance of going in. So Ghana needs to avoid conceding set pieces in dangerous areas. And we also need to avoid running too much with the Koreans. We need to slow down the game and play this game at our tempo, because it's that kind of team that can run for 2 days continuously and not get tired. And so we're up against it. Stamina has never been our biggest fallback. So I just expect us to be able to manage this game properly. I felt as if game management let us down a lot in that opening encounter against Portugal. If we can manage this game properly, there's no reason why we cannot take away 3 points.
Benjamin, before I let you go, what are your predictions?
I say 2-1 Ghana to win this game.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You heard me speak to Benjamin Nketiah, who is the head of sports for Citi FM and Citi TV, who is live in Qatar. Before I let you go, Evans, tell me what your predictions are.
Well, I think I'll go with Ben's prediction, 2-1. As I said, slight win for the Black Stars. So 2-1 for the team this afternoon. Come on, Ghana.
Let's go. Thank you very much. You heard me speak to City Sports' Evans Ofochuma. So quickly, before you go on, tell me what your predictions are.
Well, I think I'll also go for the 2-1. I actually said 2-1 against Portugal. That did not come to pass. But this, we're winning 2-1. They're actually scoring us first, but we'll come from behind.
Why is it that we are? Someone always has to score us
I just
first.
have the feeling. I don't know. But then that's exactly what's happening tomorrow. This afternoon.
Amen.
All right. So we wish the Black Stars all the luck. We're solidly behind them. They better bring that thing home. But this is still the Citi Prime News. We'll be still ahead in the bulletin. Leadership of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana say it will remain on strike while they continue to negotiate for better working conditions.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Black Stars fans here to team selection. Now coaching is one and swear. Now Black Stars is very big. Saka Sanoso. No negative talk. Positive talking quad. Why come on? Qatar 2022 way. Now Black Stars is cheap. DSTV is 64 matches leading out the pro. DSTV compact so.
Black Stars champion. By fire, by force, champion. I feel you, baby. I feel you, baby.
Welcome back to the Citi Prime News. Kweku has some more stories.
Now, in more stories, leadership of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, says its members will continue to stay out of the classrooms whilst it engages government over their concerns. CTAG, for the past 2 weeks, has laid down their tools to demand better conditions of service. The teacher union has been in talks with government on ways to resolve the matter, but to no avail. The National Labour Commission, the NLC, last week summoned the group after the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission sent a complaint to the enforcement body. However, speaking to City News, the president for CTAG, Prince Obeng-Heman, says the union is bent on demanding better conditions from government before it calls off its industrial action.
As of last Friday, the strike was still enforced, and we went to the National Labour Commission following a summoning letter we received from the Commission on Wednesday. Around 12 noon, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, that was the complainant, came and they went and withdrew the case to pave way for further engagement, cool their way. And we were also in council meeting in Kumasi, National Council meeting. So we told them we'll be ready for any further engagement, but that will be after our council meeting. So we're waiting for written notification from any agency willing to engage us, and I will proceed to attend. So council determined that we should proceed or continue to be on the strike until such a time that the conditions and all the things we're asking for are given. So we'll be in a position to, as it were, further engage if we get an invitation from government.
Prince Obeng-Heman is the president for the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG. Meanwhile, the Colleges of Education Non-Teaching Staff Association of Ghana, SENSAG, which also embarked on a strike for similar reasons, has suspended its industrial action after reaching a consensus with government.
Organised Labour will later today meet with government over their proposed increase in the base pay of public sector workers. Initial engagement between both factions ended in a stalemate after they failed to reach a consensus. In the last meeting, Organised Labour had presented a 60% increment, but government insisted on a 15% increase. Government's proposal was turned down by Organised Labour. The union believes the proposed increment will cushion its members, particularly in the current economic hardships faced by citizens.
Now, the Ministry of Works and Housing has announced the establishment of land banks to provide the needed infrastructural services for affordable housing projects. The ministry says the land banks would offer private sector investments to enable put up affordable housing units for low-income earners. The Deputy Minister for Works and Housing, Abdullahi Banga, made this known at the 2022 Ghana Property Awards.
Have a housing deficit of 1.8 million housing units, but we have about 12% or so houses that are also vacant because people cannot afford to buy those houses. So it is for this reason that the government has prioritized the delivery of affordable housing units over the medium term, and further to decide to institute a pragmatic approach to address the affordability gap and increase access to various affordable housing and thereby reduce the housing deficit. In doing so, our ministry intends to create an enabling environment to induce the private sector investment and engender the mobilization of capacity of the not-for-profit sector towards meeting the needs of the lower income households. The prevailing strategy of government is to secure land and provide the requisite infrastructure services to the sites designated as a affordable housing enclave, so to leverage private sector investment for affordable housing construction. So the government intends to have some land banks designated for affordable housing and expect the private sector to come in to invest in it. We will as well provide the infrastructure, electricity, water, and the roads to those sites.
Let's still stay with the minister because he says his ministry has initiated a process to begin the setup of a Ghana Housing Authority to provide professional services in the planning and management of government-owned affordable housing projects.
The Ministry of Works and Housing have initiated the process to establish a Ghana Housing Authority, which have the mandate to regulate, plan, develop, and manage housing development in the country. The objective of setting up this authority is to decouple the planning, development, and management of housing projects of the ministry from its core mandate of formulating, coordinating, and monitoring implementation of policies. We all attest to the fact that in recent times, most implemented government-led housing projects have not achieved the desired outcomes and impact for which they were conceived, because the feasibility, conception, planning, development, and management of these projects were not handled by professionals, but rather influenced by political consideration. So we are hoping that when the Ghana Housing Authority is established, we will have highly qualified professionals to undertake affordable housing implementation in this country.
You heard there the Deputy Minister for Works and Housing, Abdullahi Abanga, speaking.
The minority in parliament has accused companies that assemble vehicles in Ghana of taking advantage of the tax incentives offered by the government without matching up to standard. The group contends that such firms often bring in the vehicles in their almost complete nature, thereby offering them at exorbitant prices to the public. This follows the withdrawal of a directive by the government to ban the importation of used vehicles from next year. Speaking to journalists, the ranking member on the Roads and Transport Committee of Parliament, Governs Agboja, called for further stakeholder consultations before the implementation of the policy.
I've seen one or two companies claiming they are assembling vehicles. These vehicles come almost complete. If you assemble a vehicle and you take out the axle and the tires and you come here, I don't consider that as assembling. That is almost a full vehicle. What they are doing is to take advantage of the tax incentives that gives them that opportunity. When you see a vehicle assembly plant, it's the footprint of the organization. It's sometimes it's a whole city. What they are doing, we are not there yet. I think it's a good start. Let's build upon it, and until we get there, the average vehicle they are selling, the cheapest is probably $20,000. Convert $20,000 to a cedi today. Is that in the region of what a nurse, a teacher, a journalist, and many people can buy. Ghanaians don't buy used vehicles because they don't like new cars. They buy used vehicles because that is what is within their margins. I agree that vehicles that have been condemned, totally wrecked, which is not safe, should not be put together in a very bad way and sold to us as vehicles that can cause accident. That is not what we are saying. We are saying that those that are fit for purpose, the modalities you put in place for them to be imported should be there. So whilst we build our own capacity to import or assemble vehicles here, until that activity leads to a cheaper or relatively cheaper vehicles assembled here, we are not there yet to be able to do that.
You heard the ranking member on the Roads and Transport Committee of Parliament, Governs Agboja.
Let's just stay with the minority in Parliament, because they are saying that the government's flagship program, the One District, One Factory initiative, has failed to live up to expectation of cutting down drastically on the country's imports. Speaking to journalists, the ranking member on the Trade, Industry and Tourism Committee of Parliament, Emmanuel Amakofiboa, says the government must initiate policies that inure to the benefit of the citizenry.
Bank of Ghana also issued a statement that they are no longer going to support forests for importers. And immediately there were questions being asked. We know that our ultimate objective, and this is what Ghana has been striving for from day one, to make sure that we can add values to the things we have comparative advantage here and stop the importation of almost everything. But the reality is that today almost everything we use in this country is imported. And that is why every government, from Kwame Nkrumah with its import substitution strategy, has been working to make sure that we can have industries that will produce the critical things that we need. Unfortunately, as we speak today, this government's flagship policy of One District, One Factory, if I ask the one critical question, has that been able to really address one problem of the things we import? I mean, can we point to one factory in the last 7 years because of 1D, 1F? We can say that because of this effort by 1D, 1F, we are no longer importing rice, we are no longer importing poultry, or we have even cut it by 25%. There's none. In fact, the imports have increased. And now when you look at the supply disruptions because of what is going around the world, for government to basically make such announcements in the midst of crisis in the world. So this government must get its act together and coordinate well.
Ranking member on the Trade, Industry and Transport Committee of Parliament, Emmanuel Amakofibwa.
This is still the Citi Prime News. Still to come, parents and teenagers lament the continuous increase in the price of sanitary pads.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
The shipping sector is important to the growth of the economy, taking Ghana to the world and bringing the world to Ghana. At Ghana Shippers Authority, we are here to help solve shippers' problems from lost and damaged cargo, delay of shipping documents to illegal charges at the port. Our aim is to ensure that we provide the best of service and support to importers and exporters across the country by organizing seminars on new policies, how to avoid demurrage, resolving complaints at entry borders, negotiating port charges, and promoting the transit trade. So whether you're importing or exporting, we are ready to assist you at no cost. Visit us at Ghana Shippers House Ridge, Accra, GPHA Towers, Tema, NCA Building, Denyame Kumasi, Takrade Shippers Center, Unity House, Kaupohen Junction, Tamale. We also have complaint unit at the Ilubu, Paga, Aflao Borders, Kotuka and Takotel, Takrade. Call us on toll free on 0800 300 55 or visit our website shippers.org.gh. Ghana Shippers Authority, providing shipping solutions.
Mommy, Daddy, come. The letter came in the mail.
What are you waiting for? Open it.
OMG, Mommy, I finally got into university in Canada. I can't even believe it.
Hey, congratulations.
Parents have expressed worry at the continuous hikes in the cost of sanitary towels. For some, they may be forced to seek other alternatives for their wards as they are unable to keep up with the increase in prices. Citi News' Rachel Engman engaged some stakeholders and has come through with the following report, read by Citi News' Bevelyn Longdon.
Period poverty is a pressing subject among females. It refers to the lack of access to sanitary products due to financial constraints. Menstruation over the years has caused girls to be stigmatized and sometimes miss school. A study by UNESCO found that 1 in 10 girls in sub-Saharan Africa missed school while in their period. The situation has consequently been affecting girl-child education. The problem has been compounded as a result of recent hikes in prices of sanitary pads, which have made it difficult for some women to afford. A pack of sanitary pad, which used to be sold at 5 Ghana cedis, is now selling at 15 Ghana cedis or more. When Citi News hit the street to get the views of some teenagers and parents, they lamented the price hike, which may force them to find other alternatives.
How old are you?
I'm 17 years.
So you use sanitary pads?
Yes.
Okay. When was the last time you bought one?
Just last week.
Last week. And how much was it?
It was 12 cedis.
12 cedis. But previously, how much was it?
It was 8 cedis.
8 cedis?
Yes.
Do you buy it yourself?
No, my mom bought it for me.
What do you think about the increase in the price of the pad? You said it used to be 8 cedis, but then the last time you went to the market, it's 12 cedis. Okay, so what do you think about the increase?
The sanitary pad is too expensive. I think they should decrease it because we need it. It's important to us, and if it is increased like that, we cannot buy it, and we need it too. So I think they should decrease the price.
Last time you bought one?
Last month.
How much was it?
Soft care was 10 cedis, and I asked Yas. Yas said it's 12 cedis. And now today I come to buy a pad. The seller said that Yas is 16. And pad soft care is 12 cedis. I always use always. They said always the big size is 36, and the small size, this one is 18 cedis. Wow. I was surprised. Wow. Now I can't buy pad again.
But do you buy it yourself? As in, how do you, is it your parents that give you money to buy, or you buy it yourself?
Oh, my parents.
Okay. Your parents give you money to buy?
Sure.
Now they say they can't afford. So what do you think, what is your take on the increase? What do you think can be done?
It's very bad. We are begging the government to do something about it.
The cost of sanitary pads have increased. When was the last time you bought some?
About a month ago.
Okay. How much was it then?
15 and 11 cedis.
How much was it previously?
7 and 8.
7 and 8 cedis?
Yes.
Do you have children, actually?
Yeah, I have children and grandchildren. And so I normally buy it for my grandchildren.
Okay. Are you able to afford it monthly?
Oh, it's too hard, dear. It's too hard. It's hard. In fact, it's hard. But, well, we are praying that things will be all right.
The sanitary pads have various types. We have the cheaper one and the other types. So it depends the one that you want, and it depends the price.
Okay. How much was it then, and then how much is it now?
The one that I was buying was 6 cedis 50 pesos, but from 6 cedis 50 pesos go to 8 cedis, and I've heard it that is 15 cedis, but hers hasn't finished yet, so I'm now to go to the market and see the actual price, whether it's 15 cedis or 10 cedis or 12 cedis.
Would you be able to afford it? Especially, say, since you said you've been buying in bulk, would you be able to afford it?
Yes, of course. Because you need to plan. You have to be on your budget. Because nowadays things are going up. So you have to prepare. If you are buying maybe, for instance, 5 or 6, then you have to buy maybe 3 because of the price increase. Because you don't have any choice that you won't buy the sanitary pad for your daughter.
A vendor, Hamdiya Mohammed, explained that the rapid increase in the price of sanitary pads is as a result of the depreciation of the cedi. She added that patronage has been low in recent times.
I sell sanitary pads in wholesale prices. Initially, when we started, I think it was 194 cedis for a box, but now it's 319 cedis for a box, and some are also 329 cedis for a box. It differs. Some people sell it 15 cedis, others also sell it 17 cedis for one. It's due to the dollar rate and everything, so that's the reason why the prices keep on increasing. The patronage is really low, not as when we started selling. It's really low now. If something can be done about the dollar rate and the cedi depreciation, I think it's going to really help.
The Chief Commissioner of the Ghana Girl Guides Association, Mrs. Zakia Abdul Wahab, indicated that her outfit has sent a petition to government advocating for the scrapping of taxes on the product. According to her, the removal of the taxes will help reduce the prices. She further urged stakeholders to support her efforts to supply sanitary pads to deprived teenagers.
About 85% of girls
and young women in the Upper West region actually engage in transactional sex just to be able to afford sanitary pads for their cycles. And to hear something like this obviously is worrying. And so what can we do as an association? Since 2018, we have been doing this engagement with schools, with communities, but we realized that there's a need to move, a step further. There's a need to call for change. There's a need to call for some action. And this required us to send out online petitions, even during the COVID period, send out letters to prominent women in the society to say, let us all come on board. This is an issue that affects everybody, all girls in the community, all girls in Ghana. So let's all come on board and take a step and see how best, we can address this issue. All we are calling for is a removal of the tax. Currently, if we are adding it up, well, not until the last budget reading that we had was about 39%. Now, I'm sure it's well over 40%. And this, for us, is just too much for the average girl child to be able to afford and bleed decently or take care of herself during her menstrual cycle.
Parents and teenagers are lamenting the high cost of sanitary pads on the market. They want taxes on the product to be removed to make it cheaper. For Citi News, I am Rachel Engman.
Let's take you to some parts of the country now where some residents of Wa have expressed shock at the passing of the Bishop of Wa, Richard Cardinal Bawob. The Cardinal was confirmed dead shortly after being discharged from the hospital. The highly ranked official of the Roman Catholic Church got admitted at the Santo Spirito Hospital in Rome with renewed heart conditions shortly after arriving in Rome in late April for his investiture into the College of Cardinals. He was, however, discharged 2 weeks ago. Official communication available to Citi News shows that he was rushed to the Gamali Hospital late evening yesterday after doctors tried without success to stabilize his difficulty with breathing. Let's listen to some residents speaking to Citi News.
We heard that our Cardinal just passed on, and it has really breaks our hearts. We don't know what to do because we've lost a great person. He's having a kind heart. He's a fearful to God person. He just loved everyone. So we are shocked. We've lost a diamond.
This morning when I came to the church, the catechist confirmed it that he was dead. Like, we were shocked because we heard that he went to Rome to be ordained as the cardinal, and what we heard was he was sick. Even yesterday at the church, they said, he was feeling fine and he has recovered and he will come back to us. So we were of a joyful heart waiting for him to come and we'll celebrate with him. Just last night around 8 something, we heard the sad news. In fact, it breaks our hearts. In fact, we are still in the mood of shock. We can't overcome this shockness in our lives.
Those were some residents of Wa in the Upper West region reacting to the passing of Richard Cardinal Bawob.
The police have arrested one armed robber and are pursuing his accomplices for the murder of a police officer. The suspect, Salifu Adams, and his gang of robbers attacked the victim on the 25th of November 2022 between Minimanson number 2 and Nyamebetre on the Edra and Kranza Road in the Ashanti region. A police statement says the suspect is currently in police custody and will be arraigned to face justice. The police further added that a search for the rest of the robbers has been intensified. Well, that's it for the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, right here in Accra. I am Eno Safo, and this afternoon I was here with
Kweku Ediama Ansa.
For more news, log on to citynewsroom.com. Up next is the business news with Netele Nete. Thanks for your time.
City 97.3. More variety. The city is alive on 97.3. City 97.3. Accra.